This is Sandra Miller with an informative speech called Effectively Speaking. What is the number one phobia in America? Not the fear of gaining 5 pounds or the fear of a bear market. It's glossophobia, which is the fear of public speaking. According to Grant Williams, author of Voice Power, this fear ranks even higher than the fear of death in the minds of many people. However, you can get over your fear of speaking and improve your speaking skills. The basic techniques you need to be a skilled speaker can be taught. Becoming more secure in your speaking ability will help decrease your fear of speaking. Everyone knows that today you need excellent communication and computer skills to get ahead in any type of business. But you can add to that list another basic competence that can make or break your career: your presentation skills. Being able to research, write, and deliver a memorable and effective speech is a skill that will accelerate your professional and even your personal success, according to Jan Yeager, the author of Fast Track Guide to Speaking in Public. In order to obtain the skills needed for speaking effectively, there are 3 key steps that seem to be the backbone of producing a great speech. The first step is analyzing your audience. The second step is preparing the speech. And the third step to giving a great speech is presentation itself. The first step in providing a great speech is to begin at the base of the speech, which is to analyze who your audience is. Understanding your audience is one of the most important elements of effective speaking. Audience analysis can help you gain valuable insight about your listeners, which can help you choose and develop a relevant and meaningful topic. Have you ever wondered why there are so many channels on TV, yet it seems there's seldom anything that you ever want to watch? Well, according to Templeton, the author of Public Speaking and Presentations, it's because there is an audience for everything, but not every program is interesting to every audience. The same idea applies in public speaking situations. So, here are a couple of categories that you'll want to learn about regarding audience analysis, and that is demographics and psychographics. Demographics are statistical characteristics including things like age, gender, race, income, and education. These types of characteristics are known as hard data. Age is one of the easiest indicators of all the possible interests of an audience because you can assess it by just scanning a room. So you know listeners in their 50s or 60s are more likely to be concerned about changes in, let's say, Social Security benefits than listeners in their 20s or 30s who are probably more interested in child care or job opportunities, according to the author of The Competent Public Speaker, Morial. Gender is also easy information to obtain, and it's great to know because it's really important to choose examples in language that is appropriate for everyone, male or female. Even occupations and work expertise of audience members gives you clues to the languages, terminology, and examples that matter to them. The second category of audience analysis is psychographics. Psychographics is often considered to be softer data, like attitudes, values, and interests of listeners. So according to the author of Competent Public Speaker, Morial, attitudes are the listener's psychological reactions, positive or negative, to another person, object, or concept. They represent what we like or dislike. Values are an extension of your listener's attitudes and beliefs, and they reflect what they consider to be important and unimportant. So they represent what we hold as worthy or unworthy. Values help us to make big decisions in life. Knowing a little bit about the audience's interests is also important because not every person in that audience is there for the same reasons. So you need to find a way to let them know that you have something to offer them right up front. Consider this. Would you try to sell a T-bone steak to someone who just ate and who was stuffed? Claiming, or would you offer a $2 off coupon to a millionaire who just had an attempt to make a sale? No, you wouldn't, because they would not be interested in that. Audience analysis is vital, but I feel the most important step in giving a speech would have to be speech preparation. So this leads me to the second step of creating a professional speech, which is preparing for the speech. Before you write a word, you want to research your topic. According to the author of Public Speaking Strategies for Success, Zarefsky, you'll want to develop or strengthen your own expertise on the topic so that your audience is convinced that you actually know what you're talking about. Of course, you cannot find out all there is to know about every possible aspect of your speech topic, but you'll have to decide what's most important to know for your type of speech. You'll also want to find the evidence that will support your ideas so your audience knows you aren't just making it up. Supporting evidence includes personal experiences, documents, statistics, and testimonies, which can all be found in various places like interviews, libraries, databases, or internets. Make the time spent preparing proportional to the importance of the speech. For example, a 3-minute informal update will obviously require less research than a 45-minute annual presentation. You'll also want to make sure that your ideas are clear and understandable to your audience so that they know your information is pertinent to the topic. Most importantly, when preparing for a speech, you'll want to practice, practice, practice. According to Carlson, the author of How of Wow, practice doesn't necessarily make perfect, but it makes for confidence, and that is invaluable. So once you have completed your audience analysis and speech preparation, that's only one thing left to do, which is present the speech. So this leads me to the third category and final step in developing an effective speech, which is the speech preparation. A few categories important in this step include confidence, body language, and visual aids. Speeches delivered with confidence and composure inspire the audience's confidence in you and in your message, according to O'Hare, Stewart, and Rubenstein. So you try to let it show through that you like yourself and your audience and that you enjoy speaking. Even if you're tense or scared, try to avoid letting that show, according to Dr. Jan Yeager. Body language, facial expressions, eye contact, and gestures are all combined to make the visual channel of public speaking a carrier of significant messages, according to O'Hare, Stewart, and Rubenstein. From our facial expressions, audiences can gauge whether we are excited about something or disenchanted by it. Facial expressions are an asset to public speakers, but only if they make use of them, says O'Hare, Stewart, and Rubenstein. They also say that eye contact with the audience is one of the most, if not the most, important physical action in public speaking. It maintains the quality of directness in speech delivery and lets people know they are recognized, respected, and acknowledged as audience members. Words alone seldom convey what we want to express. Head, arm, and hand gestures are often critical in helping to clarify the meanings we try to express in words. The impact of the verbal component of your speech, which is what you say, depends largely on your vocal and bodily actions while saying it. For example, if someone says, "I hate you," to a friend because they got a new car that they wish they had, and they say that with a smile on their face, they'll understand that they're only kidding about that. But if someone says, "I hate you," with a grimace and shaking a fist at you when they're angry, they're going to know that they're a little more serious. So that's a difference of facial expressions can make when someone's talking and using the same words in a different way. Based on our own experience in listening to classroom lectures, we know that looking at something helps us to focus on the ideas being communicated to us by our instructors. So the use of visual aids makes the world of sight an essential part of oral communications, according to Macaro, Brombeck, Enrique, and Morris. By adding visuals, you add perspectives on your subject matter enhancing the power and forcefulness of your presentation. So think of it this way. If a teacher were to stand a lectern for an hour, not moving one single bit from their spot, and only talked with zero explanation on the blackboard at all, how long would you really listen? Probably not that long. So that sums up the 3 key points in developing a great speech. So let's recap each of them. In conclusion, it is my goal that by listening to this speech, you will develop the confidence you need to make good decisions about your speeches and that you become the speaker that you always wanted to be. So, to recap, the 3 key points are: first, analyze your audience, speech preparation, and speech presentation. Speeches still do matter, even in this technological age when it seems speeches would be obsolete. The act of making a speech is a medium that has remained essentially unchanged through the ages, according to Deborah Price. Public speaking is something that will stay with you forever. It will teach you how to think analytically. It will teach you how to organize ideas. It will teach you how to do research. It will teach you how to assess any audience. And it will teach you how to inform and persuade. These are skills that are valuable not just in speaking, but in all aspects of life. According to Grant Williams, speaking in public can be a wonderful experience, creative, rewarding, and exhilarating. Peggy Norman put it beautifully: a speech is poetry, cadence, rhythm, imagery, sweet. A speech reminds us that words, like children, have the power to make dance the dullest beanbag of a heart. Thank you.